Hey there, Alex here. While it's fun to play with all the latest and greatest flagship devices, it's not something that everyone needs. For a lot of folks, myself included, older flagship devices tend to offer better bang for our bucks. So today, let's take a look at what I think is probably the best option if you're looking for a cheaper iPhone. Released in 2015 as a replacement for the iPhone 6, the iPhone 6s came with pretty significant upgrades in my opinion, even though they look pretty much the same. It starts from the outside with a newer and stronger 7000 series aluminum. The display is similar to the iPhone 6 and still looks pretty good even today. It was the first iPhone to come with 3D touch capabilities too. It may not be the most life-changing feature, but I still like it because it makes text editing so much easier. The performance of the phone was top-notch back then, and even till this day, it's still really good. The A9 processor runs really well, and when you combine that with well-optimized software, it translates into a great user experience. I still find that iOS seems to handle games better, like this iPhone 6s still provides a smoother experience than plenty of newer Android devices. This is also the first iPhone to get a second generation Touch ID sensor, which is noticeably faster at unlocking the phone. The only thing that might not hold up as well is probably the battery. It's not that big, so if you're using the phone heavily, it might not last as long. For my usage though, it still gets me through a day of use. It's a pretty old phone now, so there could be quite a bit of wear and tear. There was a whole debacle about iPhones slowing down due to the software adjusting the performance of the phone based on battery performance, which to be clear, I think is a really smart feature. It's just that Apple didn't do a good job at explaining that feature. Anyway, Apple updated iOS again, and that feature can be disabled. They're also providing a super cheap battery replacement program, which I think is super generous. So if you still have your iPhone 6s or you're planning on getting a pre-owned one, now's the perfect chance to get the battery replaced. Another thing I love about iPhones is the fast and consistent software updates. Seeing that even the iPhone 5s got the iOS 11 update, I'm expecting another year or two of support for the iPhone 6s. Talking about iOS 11, it still runs really well on the iPhone 6s. Other than a few nitpicks here and there, it's still a nice and consistent experience like you would expect from an iPhone, which is pretty amazing for a phone that's 2.5 years old. The camera performance has held up pretty well too, considering this was the first iPhone that got 4K video recording capability. The rear camera was upgraded to 12 megapixel and the front camera was upgraded to 5 megapixel. It's definitely not going to be as amazing as what newer flagship devices offers, but for the most part, it takes decent looking images. The biggest shortfall is probably just going to be low light performance, which looks a little washed out. I still quite like how the front camera handles skin tones and details, and how it doesn't overprocess things. At this point, I want to explain why I think the iPhone 6s is a better proposition over cheaper options like the iPhone 6 or iPhone SE. Let's just take a look at the prices from a retailer in Singapore. For the 64GB model, the iPhone 6s cost only 60 Singapore dollars more than the iPhone 6 and $50 more than the iPhone SE. The things that I've mentioned earlier, you get all those upgrades for just $60. Comparing to the iPhone SE, even though the processor is the same, you're getting a bigger and better screen with 3D touch, better speakers, better cameras all round, faster 4G speeds and a newer Touch ID sensor. So unless you're really on a tight budget or you're looking for a really compact iPhone, the iPhone 6s is the better option. I've been using it again as my daily phone, and it's still a really good phone. Unless you're willing to top up more for the iPhone 7 of course, which is an even bigger upgrade. But that's not what I would consider cheap anymore. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you find it useful, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, and see you guys on the next one.